Hello and welcome to my review of the Necromancer for Soulblight Gravelords for Warhammer the Age of Sigmar from Games Workshop. Now, one of these models will cost you £12.75 and consists of 6 components and a 32mm base. Now, when I look back at this model, at first I thought I'd received him in the set of wizards, but looking back, I didn't. There are a set of 4 wizards that I have where you can customize and all the rest of it, but no, this model is completely separate. He will cost you £12.75 and here he is. So we'll just have a little look at him. Nice amount of detail. He's holding a skull. It's got it's giving me kind of like Snow White vibes at the moment. He's got some skulls on his staff. The wind is kind of blowing him forward, so he's got a book there, maybe a book of spells. You might need to file this off and smooth it out. A bit of a sealed base with a skeleton that he's on. So is he actually Bob the Necromancer? I don't know, but yeah, nice little cool model. Goes well with Soulblight Gravelords, obviously, especially with the that spiked hood, that spiked collar. So no spare parts, so I'll go straight into the size comparisons and things. I'll just give you an idea of how big he is next to the Vampire Lord, which you might be using with him. She's on a 40mm base. She stands a fair bit taller. You can have him kind of lurking in the background, about to perform some spells and things. Speaking of spells, I do have a wizard here. Height-wise, the Necromancer is taller. He's a taller, newer model compared to these older wizards. This wizard has a scythe for some reason with roses around it, but there's no reason why, if you've got these wizards, you could use one of them to proxy in as a Necromancer. You've got the White King. Again, the Necromancer goes quite well with skeletons, the skeleton army. I guess we could show you with the Blood Knight, maybe. I'm not sure whether you'd use him with the Blood Knights. And then a Direwolf is quite large compared to him as well. So there is that. Compared to some 40k minis right here, so we've got Space Marine, which is similar height, probably a bit taller. Slime Arbo is going to be very similar height to his head, and then a Primaris is a fair bit bigger, but obviously it's the staff that gives this Necromancer a bit more presence. But that gives you an idea. He's on like the Primaris base, I guess, the 32mm base, so there is that. So this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Necromancer. Firstly, points costs. So firstly, he will cost you 125 points. He is one model and he's a leader. That's quite expensive, 125 points for a leader. What do you get with these 125 points though? Well, you get a fair bit. He's a movement speed of 5 inches, a save of 6+, bravery 10, 5 wounds. So not the best, he's a bit slower than normal, and his save is kind of non-existent. He's armed with a mortis staff, and one of these is a range of 1 inch, 2 attacks, 3+ to hit, 3+ to wound, rend of -1, and damage of D3. It's kind of similar, strength and weaponry and things. It's kind of a similar weapon to the Vampire Lord's Soulbound blades. He gets half the number of attacks, but it's the same to hit, to wound, to rend, and the same damage as the Vampire Lord's mace. Abilities. Undead minions. Roll a dice before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this model. If it is within 3 inches of any friendly Soulblight Gravelords summonable units, on a 3+, that wound or mortal wound is allocated to one of those units instead of this model. So he kind of gets like a cover save in a way, which he should get because his save is only 6+. Magic. This model is a wizard. It can attempt to cast 1 spell in your hero phase and attempt to unbind 1 spell in the enemy hero phase. It knows the Arcane Bolt, Mystic Shield, and Van Hell's Dance Macabre spells. we'll go through that now. So the Van Hel's Dance Macabre spell, it's a casting value of 6. If successfully cast, you pick one friendly Soulblight Gravelords summonable unit wholly within 18 inches of the caster. Until your next hero phase, if that unit has fought only once in the combat phase, when it is your turn to pick a unit to fight, that unit can be picked to fight for a second time if it is within 3 inches of any enemy unit. So very useful, that, the Dance Macabre. You kind of get an extra turn to attack. Very useful, but remember the unit has to be wholly within that 18 inches. So at least it's not 12 inches or 6 inches, right? So that's quite nice. You know, so on top of that, you've got your normal Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield spells. Keywords: Death, Soulblight Gravelords, Death Mages, Hero, Wizard, Necromancer. So there you go, that is the Necromancer. I think he's a nice, creepy looking mini unit. Goes well with Soulblight Gravelords. Has a couple of alright rules. I think he's a bit pricey, but then again, you know, he is a wizard. So, you know, you can be using multiple spells there. Well, casting one and unbinding one per turn. What do you guys think of the Necromancer? Please do put your thoughts in the comments below. It'd be good to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Nagash protects.